You likely believe the global digital economy is controlled by the titans of Silicon Valley, that artificial intelligence, modern military defense, and high-frequency trading are dictated by hardware empires like Apple or Nvidia. But this is a carefully manufactured illusion. The absolute limits of human advancement are currently bottlenecked by a single, quiet manufacturing facility in a small town in the Netherlands. If this factory permanently halted production today, the entire global technology supply chain would physically collapse within months. Trillions of dollars would evaporate overnight. This is ASML, and they hold a ruthless, impenetrable monopoly on the most complex machine ever engineered. Manufacturing a microchip is essentially printing a microscopic, three-dimensional city onto pure silicon. The smaller you draw the lines, the more computing power you generate. For decades, the industry used standard deep ultraviolet light to print these lines, but as the lines shrank down to the size of a few dozen atoms, that light became entirely obsolete. Its wavelength was simply too thick. To keep Moore's law alive, ASML made a massive, bet-the-company gamble. They needed a wavelength that doesn't naturally exist on Earth, extreme ultraviolet or EUV. To harness it, ASML built a machine that essentially detonates a miniature star inside an absolute vacuum. A high-powered laser strikes a falling droplet of molten tin, vaporizing it into superheated plasma burning hotter than the surface of the sun. This exact, hyper-precise detonation is repeated 50,000 times every single second to generate a continuous stream of light. Because EUV light is absorbed by literal glass, it must be guided by mirrors so unimaginably smooth they defy standard physics. If you expanded one of these Carl Zeiss mirrors to the size of the Earth, the tallest mountain on its surface would be less than a single millimeter high. Because of these impossible tolerances, a single EUV machine costs over $200 million. It takes 40 shipping containers and 3 full Boeing 747 cargo flights just to transport one disassembled unit to a foundry in Taiwan or South Korea. Today, ASML is the only company on the planet capable of building these machines. This unprecedented mechanical monopoly makes them the absolute fulcrum of modern global power. The nation that controls the most advanced microchips controls the future of artificial intelligence and unquestionable global military superiority. Semiconductors are the new oil, and ASML controls the only drill. Recognizing this leverage, the United States successfully lobbied to legally prohibit ASML from selling its advanced EUV machines to China. This legislative chokehold has triggered a frantic shadow market. Desperate Chinese tech conglomerates are buying up older, unrestricted legacy machines at massive premiums. To bridge the gap, they are forced into a brutal mechanical compromise called multi-patterning, running the same silicon through older machines multiple times to artificially draw finer lines. But every additional pass multiplies the chance of a fatal microscopic error. It physically destroys their yield rates and costs an absolute fortune, but it is the only way to keep their AI ambitions alive. The entire global tech industry operates entirely on the razor's edge of this Dutch monopoly. If a catastrophic event hit Veldhoven, the global artificial intelligence race would freeze overnight. But while intelligence agencies obsess over multi-million-dollar lasers, an even more terrifying physical bottleneck is forming at the very foundation of the supply chain. Before you can fire the extreme ultraviolet laser, you need the foundational canvas. You need high-purity quartz sand, a resource so critically scarce that violent, organized cartels are currently fighting deadly, unregulated turf wars to control its extraction. The microchip war isn't just being fought in sterile cleanrooms, it is being fought in the mud, with bullets, extortion, and black market dredging ships. You're watching Mirkos Insights. Subscribe, and join us next as we uncover the trillion-dollar shadow market of the global sand mafia.